I didn't expect the cop to tell me to leave my own house. But when he did, I actually laughed. It wasn't a happy laugh. It came out sharp, almost wrong, like my brain refused to accept what I was hearing. I repeated the word leave under my breath and looked past him, straight at the lake house I'd been paying off for the last 4 years. "This is my property," the officer said, his tone shifting into that careful, controlled neutrality, the kind they use when they think you might be unstable. "The homeowner reported an unauthorized person on site. I need you to step away from the door." Behind him, in the driveway of my lakefront place in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, my mom stood with her arms folded. Her face was arranged in that same worried, sympathetic expression she'd been using since I was a teenager. I recognized it instantly. She'd used that exact look when I was 14, when she told my school principal I'd stolen $20 from her purse, money I'd earned doing yard work. Money she'd taken and then claimed was missing. Next to her stood my sister, let's call her Madison, holding up her phone and recording everything. Of course she was. "Officer," I said, forcing my voice to stay steady, even though my pulse was pounding in my throat. "My name is Avery Collins. This house is legally mine. I have the deed, mortgage statements, utility bills, everything. Ma'am, I need you to calm down." I wasn't yelling. I wasn't even close to losing control. If anything, I felt too calm. So calm I could feel my nails pressing into my palms hard enough to leave marks. "I am calm," I said, "but I'm not leaving my own house." The second officer, young, unsure, looked between me and my mother. "Mrs. Collins, you're the one who called this in?" My mom's voice trembled perfectly. "I don't know this woman. She just showed up claiming she owns the house. We've been using it for family events for years. It belonged to my late husband's family." "That's not true," I said, louder than I meant to. I forced myself to lower my tone. "My father left me an inheritance 3 years ago. I used it for the down payment. This house is mine. Only mine." "She's having an episode," Madison added softly, like she was explaining something sad but obvious. "She's been obsessed with this place ever since Dad passed. It's honestly really hard to watch." The older officer's expression shifted. Not sympathy exactly, but close enough. That look people give when they think you've lost touch with reality, but you're not dangerous enough to restrain. "Do you have proof of ownership with you?" "It's inside," I said. "In my office. I can show you right now." "You're not going inside until we verify who you are." That's when it hit me. They weren't going to believe me. Not with my mother crying like that. Not with Madison standing there, calm and concerned. Not with the story already set. That I was the unstable one, the obsessive one, the problem that needed to be removed. So I left. Not because they were right, but because arguing with 2 officers on my own front lawn wasn't going to end well for me. I drove to the end of the driveway, parked, and called my lawyer. 4 years earlier, right after my dad passed, he left me $75,000. It wasn't life-changing money, but it was enough for a down payment. I found a small lakefront property that had been sitting on the market for months. It needed work, but I saw potential. My mom hated the idea. "That money was meant for your future," she'd said, barely hiding her anger. "Not some ridiculous vacation house you'll barely use." "I will use it," I told her, "and it's an investment." She laughed, that brittle, cutting laugh that always came right before something worse. "You're 32, Avery. You should be thinking about stability, not playing house in Wisconsin." I bought it anyway, put everything in my name, set up automatic payments, installed a security system with cloud storage since the place was 2 hours away from my apartment in Chicago. For the first couple years, I went up there almost every weekend. Fixed the deck, painted the interior, replaced old appliances. It became mine in every way that mattered. Then my mom asked if she could use it for Madison's birthday. "Just one weekend," she said. "You're not using it all the time anyway, and she'd love something special." I said yes, because that's what you do. Because saying no would have made me the selfish one. The party went fine. They cleaned up, mostly. My mom even called to thank me. After that, the requests kept coming. Girls' weekends, book club meetings, holidays, and every time, I said yes. Because every no felt like proof of everything they'd always said about me. That I was difficult, selfish, holding on to the past. And every time, I paid. Groceries, cleaning, repairs, everything. 3 weeks before everything fell apart, Madison called me. "I'm getting married," she said, excited. "We're thinking Labor Day weekend, and would it be okay if we used your lake house for the engagement party?" "Of course," I said automatically. "Amazing! I knew you'd understand." She hung up before I could ask anything else. 2 weeks later, I got a Venmo request from my mom. $4,200. No explanation, no question, just an expectation. I stared at my phone for a long time. Then I paid it. Because that's what you do for family. The Friday before the party, I drove up early to help set up. I brought groceries, flowers, a bottle of champagne. When I pulled into the driveway, the place was already full. Caterers in the kitchen, a bartender setting up outside. Madison directing people like she was running the show. My mom stood in the doorway with a clipboard, like she was managing an event. She saw me, and her face flickered. Surprise. Then irritation. Then a forced smile. "You're early." "I said I'd be here by 5, I reminded her, grabbing bags. "I brought supplies." "Oh, we've got everything handled," she said quickly, then paused. "Actually, why don't you come back tomorrow, around 2? I stopped. "Come back tomorrow? It's just chaotic right now," she said lightly. "We've got a system going. It'll be easier if we finish setting up ourselves." I didn't understand, but I recognized the tone. Arguing would make me the problem. "Okay," I said slowly. "So I'll just go back? Maybe get a hotel? Make a weekend of it," she smiled. "Treat yourself." Then she turned and walked inside. Madison came out a second later, phone in hand. "Did Mom talk to you?" "She said come back tomorrow." Madison bit her lip, like she felt bad. "Yeah, we just have a specific vision, and you can get a little particular." "Particular? You know what I mean," she said, brushing it off. "Anyway, thanks for letting us use the house. It's going to be perfect." She went back inside. I stood there holding bags I'd paid for. Then I put everything back in my car and drove to a hotel 8 miles away. I should have seen it then. The way they'd already taken control. The way I wasn't part of any of it. But I told myself I was overreacting. The next day, I came back. 1:47 p.m., 13 minutes early, but not enough to be annoying. The place looked like a wedding venue. Tents, music, people everywhere. I parked and walked up with the champagne. My mom was at the door talking to a woman I didn't recognize. She saw me and froze. "Avery." The way she said my name felt like an accusation. "What are you doing here?" "I'm here for the party," I said. "Madison's engagement party, at my house." She didn't react. Instead, she turned to the woman beside her. "This is my daughter," she said, her voice soft and apologetic. "Avery, this is Judith, the wedding planner." "Wedding planner?" I repeated. "For the ceremony," Judith said pleasantly. "Your mother was just showing me around. This property is perfect, right on the lake. Your sister is so lucky to have something like this in the family." Family property. My stomach dropped. My mom's hand gripped my arm. "Let's talk inside." She guided me into the kitchen. "What's going on?" I asked quietly. "Nothing," she said, smiling too tightly. "We're just having the party." "You told her this is family property." "It is." "No," I said. "It's mine. It's in my name." Her expression changed. Something colder. "Don't make a scene today." "I'm not making a scene. I'm asking why you're lying." "Semantics." She waved it off. "What's yours is family." "No, that's not how it works." She stepped closer, her voice dropping. You are not ruining your sister's day over your petty ownership issues. I paid for this party, I said. Thousands of dollars. And you're not going to embarrass her in front of her fiancé's family by acting like this house is yours out of charity. It is mine. Her face hardened. Get out. I stared at her. What? Get out. You're not welcome here. This is my house. This is Madison's engagement party, she snapped. And you're trying to sabotage it. Through the window, I could see Madison laughing with her friends, like I didn't exist. Fine, I said. I walked out, past guests, past decorations, past everything I'd paid for. I got in my car and sat there, shaking. Then I saw my mom step outside, phone pressed to her ear, wearing that same distressed expression. And I knew. Before the police even showed up, I knew exactly what she was about to do. After they forced me to leave, I went back to my hotel and called Bryce Kellerman, my dad's old attorney. I told him everything. When I finished, he was quiet for a moment. They reported you as a trespasser on your own property. Yes. Do you have documentation? Everything, digital copies. Send it, and if you have security footage, send that too. I'd almost forgotten about the cameras. 4 of them, covering the entire property, recording constantly. I logged in and downloaded everything. What I saw made my hands go numb. My mom showing the planner around saying, "This has been in my family for years." Madison telling her fiancé, "My mom's so generous letting us use the lake house." And then, my mom on the phone. "There's a woman here claiming she owns the property. I don't know who she is, but she's making threats." The timestamp hit me. She called the police 7 minutes after I arrived, before we even argued. She'd already decided who I was going to be in the story. I watched the footage again, then sent everything to Bryce. 2 weeks later, I went back. This time, I was ready. Cars everywhere again. Decorations again. I started recording before I even got out of my car. My mom answered the door. Her face went pale. "What are you doing here?" "I could ask you the same," I said. "You got the legal notice. You're not allowed here." Madison appeared behind her, furious. "Are you serious right now? I'm enforcing my rights." My mom's voice softened. "Please, just one more day." "You had 2 weeks. I thought you'd calm down. I thought you'd respect boundaries." "Family matters more than paperwork," she snapped. "You told the police I was a stranger." "That was a misunderstanding." "It's on video," I said. Her face changed. "You're recording your own mother?" "I'm documenting trespassing." Then I called the police. When they arrived, I showed them everything. Documentation, video, legal notice. The officer, Patricia Santos, reviewed it all carefully. "Do you want them removed?" she asked. "Yes." My mom looked at me like I'd betrayed her. "You can't be serious." "I am." "Everyone needs to leave," the officer said. "Immediately." People packed up in silence. Madison cried on the deck. My mom didn't. She just stared at me with pure hatred. "You've always been jealous," she said quietly. I didn't respond. I just watched them leave. 6 months later, everything was different. I changed the locks, installed a gate, hired a management company. Madison got married. I wasn't invited. My mom sent a Christmas card with a photo that didn't include me. I framed it, hung it next to my deed. Not as a reminder of what I lost, but of what I kept. Because I learned something through all of this. Some people will take everything you give and still expect more. They'll rewrite reality, turn you into the villain, use family like a weapon. But facts don't change, documents don't lie. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stand on your own property and say, "This is mine," not to hurt anyone. Just to finally stop letting them hurt you. Last weekend, I sat on the deck with my coffee, watching the sunrise over the lake. No chaos, no guests, no noise, just silence. My phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "This is Ryan. I'm sorry for everything. For what it's worth, Madison knows you were right. She just won't admit it." I read it twice, then deleted it. Because I wasn't waiting for apologies anymore. I was just living my life.